Have you ever wondered why so many older adults choose to live alone and actually enjoy it? Sounds surprising, right? But think about it. No worrying about bothering anyone, no following anyone else's schedule, and, most importantly, no feeling like a burden to your children. Instead of becoming unpaid house help, or feeling like an outsider in your own children's home, why not enjoy the freedom and comfort of your own space? In this video, we're diving into why living alone in old age isn't just comfortable. It helps you maintain dignity, independence, and yes, even a sense of fun. If you want to learn how to fully embrace freedom in your golden years, make sure to watch until the end. And don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on more inspiring content. If you agree, drop a 1 in the comments, and if you don't, feel free to leave a 0. Now, let's explore the secret to living freely in old age. Many people believe that when children can take care of their parents, it's a sign of success and deep family loyalty. And it's true, having loving, successful children who are willing to care for you in your later years is something to be proud of. You won't have to worry about meals or daily needs, and there's a comforting sense of safety and love in being surrounded by family. But let's be honest, relying completely on your children can come with unexpected challenges, unmet expectations, differences in lifestyle, or simply feeling like a burden. These can create discomfort and tension. Real-life stories have shown that depending entirely on your children can sometimes lead to conflicts that no one intended. It's not that your children don't love you, but their lives are also filled with pressures and priorities of their own. That's why choosing independence and relying on yourself can be a powerful way to maintain your dignity while preserving healthy, loving relationships with your children. By taking care of yourself and staying independent, you're not just safeguarding your self-respect, you're also creating an environment where love between generations can grow, supported by mutual respect and understanding. A typical example is Mary Thompson, who never imagined she would find herself feeling alone in her own children's homes. She once believed that relying on her kids in old age was natural, even reasonable. After all, after her husband passed away 15 years ago, she comforted herself with the thought that she had 3 loving children who had always promised to take care of her as she grew older. But life has a cruel way of twisting promises. Mary once lived happily with her husband in a cozy little house on the outskirts of Chicago. It was where they built their life together, weathered life's ups and downs, and shared countless joyful moments. But a tragic car accident stole her husband from her. Suddenly, the home that was once filled with laughter became cold and empty, and memories turned into pain. Feeling lonely and in need of care, Mary decided to move in with her children. At first, it seemed like the perfect solution. She spent the first few months living with her eldest son, Michael, and his wife, Jennifer. They assured her she could stay as long as she wanted and that she would always be welcomed. But reality was far less comforting. In the beginning, Jennifer was kind and considerate. She cooked with Mary, even asking her to share some of the family's cherished recipes. But Jennifer's patience gradually wore thin. She began to delegate more and more household chores to Mary, from laundry and cleaning to gardening. Michael initially gave his mother $500 a month to contribute to household expenses, but after a few months, he started complaining that her pension was too high and demanded she contribute more. Eventually, Michael stopped giving her any money, forcing Mary to dip into her modest savings to cover her own expenses. When Mary moved in with her youngest son, Daniel, she hoped things would be better. But Daniel, once her sweet and humorous boy, now only saw his mother as a potential financial resource. Shortly after she moved in, Daniel asked for $10,000 to invest in a business venture. Wanting to help her son, Mary agreed, but when his business failed, Daniel never mentioned repaying her. Instead, he began hinting that she should sell her old house in Chicago, the home she and her late husband had worked their entire lives to buy. Mary felt betrayed, but she didn't want to hurt her son. She told him she only had $20,000 left in savings and needed it for her health care. To ease the tension, she gave Daniel $5,000 and pretended she was out of money. Yet even then, Daniel continued to pressure her to sell the house, insisting that she could live more comfortably and he wouldn't have to worry as much. Mary's heart broke. That house wasn't just a property. It was a vessel of memories, a place that held echoes of her husband's laughter and the love they shared. She refused to sell it and made the decision to move back, no matter how much her sons protested. Then, the worst happened. One cold winter morning, Mary suffered a stroke. Luckily, a neighbor found her and rushed her to the hospital. When she woke up, Mary realized she had become a burden to her children. Michael and Jennifer grew resentful of having to care for her, while Daniel bluntly suggested that she move into a nursing home. Mary realized then and there that depending on her children was futile. She decided to return to her old house in Chicago, using her remaining savings to hire a caregiver. In her own home, she felt free again, free from judgment, complaints, and cold shoulders. Within months of living alone, Mary's health improved remarkably. She regained her mobility, managed to take care of herself, and even started tending to the little garden behind her house. She realized that holding on to her house and not giving away all her savings had been the wisest decisions she ever made. Had she sold the house or given all her money to her children, she would have been at their mercy, enduring their complaints or languishing in a nursing home. But in her own space, she found peace, dignity, and the freedom to live life on her own terms. If you're still watching this video and found Mary's story inspiring, please leave a comment number 1 below to let me know you're still here with me. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this heartfelt story. As you enter your golden years, protecting yourself and maintaining your independence becomes more important than ever. Don't wait until your health declines or you find yourself relying on your children. Start by adopting these 5 essential principles to ensure a comfortable, free, and fulfilling life in your later years. First, prioritize your health above everything else. Your health is your most valuable asset, and no one can protect it better than you. Schedule regular checkups, eat a balanced diet, and maintain a gentle exercise routine, like walking, yoga, or any activity that keeps you flexible and energetic. Good health gives you the freedom to live independently and reduces your reliance on others for daily care. Second, ensure you have a stable source of income and personal assets to rely on. Don't place the entire financial burden on your children. Consider safe investment options and maintain savings for unexpected expenses. This not only provides financial security, but also allows you to make your own decisions without feeling pressured or dependent on anyone else. Third, always keep control of your assets. Never hand over all your money or property to your children, no matter how much you trust them. Money can complicate relationships, and losing control of your finances can lead to loss of independence. Make sure you have a clear will in place and retain enough assets to secure your own future. Fourth, live for yourself and enjoy life on your own terms. Don't spend all your time working or helping your children while forgetting about yourself. Travel, engage in social activities, explore personal interests, and build new friendships. Life is not just about responsibilities. It's also about cherishing happy moments and creating meaningful experiences. Finally, choose to live independently and avoid becoming dependent on your children. This doesn't mean you don't love or care about them. It means building a strong, self-sufficient life of your own. If needed, consider hiring help or seeking community support to maintain your independence. This protects your self-esteem and preserves a healthy, respectful relationship with your children without creating unnecessary dependency or pressure. These principles not only allow you to live comfortably and freely in your later years, but also give your children peace of mind. When you are strong and independent, you show them that you've lived your life fully and proudly. Start protecting yourself today by embracing these practices. The first thing is, living with children did not bring happiness. Living with your children in old age doesn't always bring happiness. In fact, living alone in your own familiar home often allows you to enjoy freedom and independence on your own terms. When we're young, we don't usually think about this, but the truth is that as we grow older, being self-reliant and having a clear financial plan will help you live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Money plays a crucial role in protecting your independence as you age. If you have assets, use them to take care of yourself first, and only leave what's left as an inheritance. Don't be in a rush to transfer your property to your children while you're still alive, no matter how much you love them. Too many parents give away their homes prematurely and end up feeling like strangers in their own space. Don't allow yourself to become dependent when you still have the means to control your life. Think of your assets as a tool for enjoying your golden years. Use them to live comfortably and maintain your independence. Only when you keep control of your finances can you be sure you'll have enough resources to cover your living expenses and sustain your independence. This not only gives you peace of mind, but also earns you respect from your children because self-sufficiency is always admirable. Plan your finances wisely, use your assets responsibly, and only pass them on when you're truly ready. This is how you protect your life and dignity as you age. The second thing is to avoid living with your children. To prevent unresolved conflicts, a woman nearing 70 should spend her old age peacefully under the care of her children. But the harsh reality is quite different. Eleanor had 4 sons and 2 daughters. In her younger years, she worked tirelessly to raise her children, hoping that in her later years, she would be surrounded by love and care from the very children she sacrificed everything to nurture. But as old age and illness crept in, she realized that her sons had no intention of taking on the responsibility of caring for their mother. They agreed to rotate her between their homes, but none of them were willing to spend even a full day by her side. Once, while staying at her eldest son's house, she was bitten by their dog and had to stay a few extra days to recover. Instead of receiving care and comfort, she was met with cold stares and barely concealed resentment. Eleanor then moved to her second son's house, and later to her third, but each time she moved, she faced distance and discomfort from her daughters-in-law. Wanting to help and not be a burden, she did housework and tried to blend in, but complaints and discontent were always present. The emotional pain of feeling unwanted only added to her physical exhaustion. Her 2 daughters dearly loved her and wanted to bring her into their homes. Yet her sons refused, worried about societal judgment, afraid of the stigma of being sons who couldn't take care of their own mother. They kept her close not out of love, but to protect their own reputations. At 70, Eleanor faced a heartbreaking realization. Living with her children wasn't as ideal as she once imagined. Yet, she also couldn't bear the thought of moving into a nursing home, fearing she would be seen as an ungrateful mother who burdened her children. Her pride and reluctance to face this painful truth kept her trapped in loneliness within her own family. Eleanor's story serves as a painful reminder that to have a peaceful old age, seniors should maintain their independence. No matter how much you love your children, relying on them entirely for emotional and financial support can lead to disappointment and heartache. The key to preserving dignity and happiness in old age is to live independently, maintain financial security, and cherish your freedom. Don't depend on your children, no matter how much you love them. The third point is not to exhaust yourself working for your children. In today's world, many retirees continue to work tirelessly, not for themselves, but to support their children or pay off debts. Some parents, even after retirement, take on household responsibilities and manage family matters for their grown children, sacrificing their own well-being and happiness. Instead of focusing on their health and personal fulfillment, they push themselves to exhaustion, and this is a costly mistake. After retirement, the most important priority is not to work endlessly for extra income, but to take care of one's health and emotional well-being. When health deteriorates, it doesn't just cause personal suffering. it also becomes a burden on the children they intended to help. No matter how much money is earned, it will never be enough to cover medical expenses if health declines. Rather than exhausting themselves with work, retirees should prioritize physical activity and maintaining their overall health. Growing older doesn't mean giving up on happiness. By planning carefully and putting health first, you can fully embrace retirement and enjoy a peaceful, fulfilling, and meaningful life. Finally, let us listen to the story. Sarah stood by her kitchen window, watching the autumn leaves dance in the crisp breeze. The golden hues reminded her of the days when Emily would rush home from school, cheeks flushed from the cold, bursting through the door with laughter that filled every corner of the house. Those days felt distant now, like echoes from a time long past. Upstairs, she heard the familiar shuffle of footsteps as Emily prepared to leave. A quick glance at the mirror, a dab of lipstick, and a twirl to check the outfit. She looked beautiful, confident, vibrant, alive. Sarah smiled, a bittersweet pang tightening in her chest. Emily was all grown up, a young woman with dreams as wide as the sky. She was always on the move, always chasing the next adventure. Sarah turned back to the kitchen, her hands instinctively reaching for the watermelon slices she had meticulously prepared, just the way Emily liked them. But she knew they would go untouched. Emily rarely had time to sit and share a meal anymore. Her daughter's life was a whirlwind of work, social gatherings, and travels. Each time she came home, she brought a suitcase filled with designer clothes, expensive perfumes, and luxury gifts. Sometimes, she would toss Sarah a scarf or a dress, saying, "This would look great on you, Mom." But the clothes never quite fit. The styles too modern, too bold for Sarah's simple tastes. She kept them neatly folded in her drawer, untouched, like memories preserved in fabric. It had been over a month since Emily last sat at this table. Yet, every Saturday, a package would arrive at the door. A box of exotic fruits, a set of skincare products, or a bouquet of flowers. Sarah appreciated the thoughtfulness, but she longed for more than just gifts. She missed the sound of Emily's voice, the way she would laugh with her whole heart, the warmth of her presence. One morning, the phone rang. It was Emily, her voice cheerful yet hurried. "Mom, I'll be home for dinner tomorrow. I miss your cooking." Sarah's heart fluttered with joy. "I'll make your favorite," she replied, her voice trembling. "Stuffed peppers and apple pie, just like old times." She spent the day preparing the meal, her heart dancing with anticipation. She set the table with the best china, lit candles, and even arranged fresh sunflowers on the table. Emily's favorite. 6 o'clock came and went. 7. 8. The candles had melted, the food had gone cold, and the house remained silent. Sarah sat at the table, staring at the empty chair across from her. She checked her phone, her fingers trembling. Finally, a text appeared. "Sorry, Mom. Got caught up at work. Can we reschedule?" The words blurred before her eyes as tears welled up. She put down the phone, her shoulders slumping under the weight of loneliness. She slowly cleared the table, wrapping up the untouched food and placing it in the fridge. Later that night, she found herself standing before an old wooden box on the bookshelf. It was worn, polished by years of dusting and memories. Emily had always been curious about it as a child, but Sarah had kept it locked, promising to show her one day when she was older. With a deep breath, she unlocked the box. Inside were pieces of the past, carefully preserved. A hand-knitted scarf she had made for Emily's first winter in college. Emily had never worn it, saying it was too old-fashioned, but Sarah kept it anyway. Beneath the scarf was a small pink sweater embroidered with Emily's name, a keepsake from her childhood. There were photos too, faded snapshots of birthday parties, Christmas mornings, and lazy Sunday afternoons. At the bottom of the box was a crumpled piece of paper. Unfolding it, Sarah found a drawing from Emily's preschool days. A stick figure labeled Mommy, with a heart above it. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she traced the uneven crayon lines, her heart aching for the little girl who once needed her for everything. She sat there, alone on the cold floor, clutching the box to her chest as silent sobs shook her fragile frame. The next day, Emily showed up, guilt heavy in her eyes. "Mom, I'm so sorry about yesterday. I just got so busy." Sarah looked at her daughter, standing there in her sleek business attire, flawless makeup, and perfectly styled hair. She saw the woman Emily had become, strong, independent, successful. But she also saw the little girl who used to climb into her lap, who once needed her hugs to feel safe. "Life gets busy," Sarah whispered, her voice soft and tired. "But don't wait too long, Emily. Don't wait until it's too late to come home." Emily's face crumbled, tears filling her eyes. She rushed forward, wrapping her arms tightly around her mother. "I promise, Mom, I won't wait too long." That evening, they sat together at the kitchen table, reheating the food Sarah had made the night before. They laughed, they reminisced, they reconnected. Emily talked about her job, her friends, her dreams, and Sarah listened, her heart swelling with pride and love. It wasn't a perfect evening, but it was enough. It was a beginning. After Emily left, Sarah returned to the wooden box. She placed the pink sweater on top, alongside the drawing. She added a new photo, one of them smiling at the dinner table, arms wrapped around each other. She locked the box and put it back on the shelf, sealing a lifetime of memories and love within. And for the first time in a long while, she felt hopeful. The house was quiet again, but it didn't feel empty. Not this time. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovering valuable lessons on how to live wisely and meaningfully in the golden years of life. From understanding the importance of managing personal assets with intention to realizing the value of personal space and independence, we've explored essential aspects of living a peaceful and fulfilling life in your later years. We would love to hear from you. What resonated with you the most from today's discussion? Was there a particular lesson that you found especially helpful and are eager to apply in your own life? Your thoughts and experiences are not just inspiring, they also help us connect on a deeper level, so don't hesitate to leave a comment below. If you found this video valuable, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support motivates us to continue creating meaningful and inspiring content. Thank you for being a part of our community. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.